whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, no. What? Who's that? Who's that, right? Greetings, everyone. I honestly was just in the mood to film. I've been kind of sick this weekend and not feeling too great, and then today I just felt like so I don't know why, but I just feel like filming, and so today I'm going to be filming a little bit of a different type of video. I was thinking the other day while I was, lounging in the bathtub about how I wish that there was a YouTube challenge or a YouTube tag that was like deep questions. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna create one. But then I was like, you know what? I should probably go and search and see if anybody else has done this before. And I came across a video from a girl. Let me pull up her name. Girl named Emily Anna, and I believe that she's British. And I don't know if she created this tag or if she just did it, but I really like the questions that she had on her video, so I'm going to answer them. I may not answer all of them because there are 20 of them and I tend to ramble, but we're gonna give this a try, so I'm gonna jump in with the first question. The first question is, close your eyes and think of the 5 things that make you smile when you think about them. What are they? Okay, so I think I've thought of my things. My first one is this little nugget down here. You can't see him, but he's very, very cute, and he is my puppy, and his name is Ryder, and he was a rescue, and he makes me happy beyond my wildest imagination. He's so sweet and kind and the best company you could ever ask for, especially living in such a big city. It's nice to have a little buddy around, so I would say Ryder. My next one would be my YouTube channel. This makes me very, 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 very happy, and I really want this to be my life, and so that makes me really happy. Third one I would say is my friends, more specifically my group of friends back home. You guys might have seen them in our most likely to video challenge, whatever. They are, my like ride or die friends, and they've been around forever, and then also my close friends that I've met through college and stuff like that. So that is 3. Number 4 would probably be my family. Being around my family can be challenging at times, but more times than not, it's really wonderful, and they're very supportive and they're very lovely. But then number 5, I would just say like going to the beach, just being by the water on the sand, whether that's in California or Florida or anywhere in the world that has a nice, pretty sandy beach. I am all about it. If your house is on fire and you had 60 seconds to leave, what would you take with you? I'm going to assume that my family and my beautiful, wonderful pets are all safe. And I think it would be a stuffed animal that I've had for a very, very, very long time and has seen me through a lot of scary moments in my life and a lot of joyful moments in my life. I would take that stuffed animal. I would probably take my computer and charger and my phone and my charger. And then what else would I take? Hopefully some pants and a shirt, and yeah. When you're alone in the middle of the night and you can't quite get to sleep, what do you think about? Going to sleep doesn't count. Now I'm a big insomniac. I have a lot of sleep issues. Not so much in recent years, but especially 3 or 4 years ago, I had a lot of trouble sleeping. So for me, if I'm trying to get myself to go to sleep, usually it's prayer, and it's, praying about things that I'm worrying about that are keeping me awake, or trying to shut my body down and just praying for peace and praying that I'm not aware of my sleep, in the sense that like mine would be like I could feel myself falling asleep and jolt myself awake. So I try to pray for calmness and for my anxiety to go away. Otherwise, I'm usually just thinking about life, and I'm thinking about whether it's good or bad things. It's just things that are making my mind run and run and run and never stop. What is love to you? There's my baby. Hi, Ryder. Ryder, say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. That's my baby. Hi, he's 10 months old. He's my sweet boy. Love to me is a choice, and maybe that's not romantic, and maybe that's not what all the books and the movies tell us, but I've learned throughout the years, whether it's romantic love or friendship love or family love, that loving someone is very much a choice, and it's not always easy to love people. It's not always easy to love yourself, and I think you have to wake up every single day and make an effort and make a choice to love someone, because there are moments where it's easy to love people, but I think a lot of the times it's really hard to love people, and I think that we can't have this like fantasy in your mind that love is just this thing that happens. I think it's something that you have to work for, especially the longer that you are in a relationship, or the longer that you're friends or whatever, you really have to try and make an effort. Is it possible to love someone if you don't love yourself? I think so. I think that it's really hard to say like, oh, you'll never really love someone unless you love yourself. Well, I think that's true to an extent. I think it's very possible to love people when you don't love yourself, because I think a lot of the times you give people the love that you can't give yourself, and yeah, I mean, I think it's possible. I think you probably love better, and you love more fully, and you love with more purpose if you love yourself as well, but I think it's definitely possible to love people. Ryder, don't ring the bells, I'm filming. Do you believe that mutual attraction based on mutual hatred is possible? If you're talking purely attraction, yes. I don't think that that's something that can last for a long period of time, because why would you want to base your entire relationship on negativity? I think that really will, take a toll on you eventually, and I just don't think that's healthy. Is it better to have something amazing and lose it, or never have had it to begin with? I think have something amazing and lose it, because as much as that brings pain, at least it brought you a very specific type of joy, and it taught you a lesson, and it taught you what you do want, and you can take pieces of that no matter how bad or well it ended and say, I want that in the future as well. Do you focus more on the past, the present, or the future? I think I probably focus more on the future, and by focus I think I mean worry. Because I've had a lot of stuff happen in my past, a ton of things that are, crazy and make life, kind of difficult, but at the same time, I've always been somebody that has been a perseverer. Is that a word? I've always wanted to keep moving, and I've always wanted to keep going. One of my biggest life mantras is sometimes you just put one foot in front of the other, even if you don't know where you're headed. And I think that that rings true in all aspects of my life. And I think more about the future because I want to get away from my past. So maybe in a way I do focus on the past in a way that I want to project my future. Does that make sense? I don't know. Do you judge people for what they wear or how they express themselves? Yes, because I'm a human being. I try not to, and I try to, stand up for people that want to do things differently and whatever, but I am a human being, and if you say that you don't judge people, then either A, teach me your ways, or B, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everyone else. I think the difference is that, like, I don't verbally, or try not to verbally judge those people. I might say something in my head, but like, I don't feel the need to say it out loud or to say it to them, and that's their business. And in the privacy of my own head, I can say whatever I want and, hope that I'm bettering myself and catching myself when I'm doing those things. But to tell you that I never judge people for how they look or what they wear or how they express themselves, I would be lying to you. Do you believe in individuals over generalizations? Yes, I do. I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt always, and really want to know who they are as a specific person. With that being said, I do believe that there are stereotypes for a reason, and that might get me a lot of hate. But like, stereotypes come about because people act certain ways. Like, whether you're white, black, Asian, purple, green, boy, girl, somewhere in between, like, oh, that rhymed. I think that there obviously are stereotypes that come about for a reason, but I try not to let those overshadow a particular person, and really try to find individualism in everyone, and, hope that, that they're good people. When you're scared or worried, what do you think about, or what do you do to feel better? I pray. I am a religious person. I do believe in God, and I believe that I have a relationship with God. And so when I'm worried or when I'm scared, usually I pray. As far as like anxiety goes, which I do suffer with mildly. I mean, I'm not like a severe anxiety person, but I do struggle with it pretty significantly. I spend a lot of time breathing, and I really like to, if I'm anxious, not necessarily scared, because that depends on what that means, but I like to take a drive. I do like to be by myself. I like to be in my own space, in my own room, in my own bed, etc. But I really do, praying is probably my first instinct. How do you feel about what happens after death? I am a Christian. I consider myself a Christian. I believe in heaven. I believe in the mercy of God and the judgment of God, and whether that means that there's a heaven and hell, or that means that God is forever forgiving of all sins and everyone ends up in heaven. I don't really know what that means necessarily, but I am someone who believes that there is nothing wrong with being gay, transgender, anything, I don't care. That's something that does not religiously have any affliction in my heart. Like, I think that all people are accepted, and I hope that everyone gets to go to heaven, and that it proves God's love for everyone, and that all these rumors that God doesn't love gay people or God doesn't love transgendered people will all be forgotten, in the afterlife. And I don't know, I believe in heaven. So, do you think you can tell a lot about a person from the way they express themselves or how they answer these questions? I think yes and no. I'm sure that there were people that answer these questions and they're not necessarily genuine, or they give the answers they think they're supposed to give. And so, yeah, you could be internet politically correct, or you can be honest. I would hope that people are answering these pretty honestly. My dog is ringing his bell. Ryder, stop. I hope that people are answering these honestly, and yeah, maybe you can learn some things. This would be kind of a fun thing to like sit around and ask your friends and have a conversation with as well. I think this would be really cool. Do you have any special or magical memories you'll always have with you? Yeah, of course. There's a lot of them. There's one in particular that is in my own life, so not necessarily my family life, but something I will always cherish was when I went to the Taylor Swift Speak Now tour. I went in Memphis with two of my friends, and we got pulled into the sound booth by her mom. We got to go next to the B stage. We got to hug her when she came off the B stage, and like that trip alone was like one of the funnest weekends of my whole life. And also getting to hug Taylor Swift, who is like my favorite upon favorite upon favorite for years and years and years, since she was 16 and I don't even know how old, 13. So that's like one of my most favorite memories, and I will always remember that weekend. And I have so many of those, hanging out with family. We used to always color every night with my mom and watch Wheel of Fortune, just me, my mom, and my brother. It was great, and all my family pets and everything, and my experience getting Ryder will always be special. And yeah, lots of things. How would you just define yourself without saying your name or giving a physical description of yourself or your obvious personality? I have always said that I feel like the word warrior was like given to me, whether that was divinely or just something that I sort of became to really identify with, is the word warrior. Because like I said, I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and I've always just kept fighting. That's always been the thing I have always strived for, is just to continue to fight and to continue to move through difficult things in my life. And yeah, I like the word warrior. When do you feel truly at peace? That is a very good question. I really love being alone, whether that's like, outside when the breeze is blowing, especially by the water. I love being by the water. I love laying with this one in bed and watching TV and just being sweet, and he's eating part of the couch. So yeah, peaceful is not easy to come by when you have a 10-month-old puppy. But yeah, I would say being by the water and just being in a quiet place alone. Do you believe that happiness can exist without sadness? Yes and no. I feel like I'm saying that for a lot of things. I believe that true happiness is only felt when you've experienced sadness. But I think there's a lot of people that have, fairly, I don't want to say easy lives, but I want to say fairly happy lives. Ryder, stop. And, they can, you know, experience happiness just as much as another person, but I think having sadness in your life really elevates that and, you know, makes you appreciate the moments when you are happy. Do you believe people need breaks from each other even if they're deeply in love? Absolutely, 100%. And if you don't, you must be very, very young. I think that this applies to a lot of situations, not necessarily deeply in love, but to really love someone very deeply, whether that's a friend or your family or a significant other. Like, love is hard. Love is a working thing that you have to say. Like I said, you have to wake up and choose it every day. Like, it's not going to be easy every day when you're feeling like crap and you don't want to put in that effort. Like, it's hard to do. And I think that it is really, really important to have independence and to have your own space when it comes to relationships, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying I need a break. I'm not talking about like necessarily like a break in a sense of like you break up, but in a sense of like we need our space. Like, I want to go off for a weekend with my friends and not see you, and then we'll come back and hang out. Like, by all means, for the love of God, yes, please take breaks from each other. You're driving me nuts, and also it's good for the soul. Hello, Bubba's. This is my boy. Okie dokie, and the last question, which apparently is going to feature Ryder here, is what do you find most beautiful in people? I think it is people who are very, very genuine and people who are just unapologetically themselves and, you know, have a sense of self-worth and self-confidence. I just think is so beautiful, and especially people that have been through so much and can still stand strong and, like, you know, just keep kicking ass. You know, I just think that's beautiful, and I think people who are kind and genuine, and yeah. Okay, so those are all the questions. This is my deep questions tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna leave all the questions down below, as well as a link to Emily Anna's video that I used to answer these questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a lovely Thanksgiving weekend. This will likely go up right before or right after Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in my next video. In the meantime, my name is Parker. This is Stories in the Dust, and I really hope you'll stick around a while. Bye, guys.